Hello and welcome to Coffee Conversation, y'all. We are back. Coffee Conversation, Book Talks with Sandy podcast. Super excited to have you with me on this tour. I am super excited. So listen, we were on earlier with the amazing Nicole Potter, all the way out of Canada. And so we're super excited to, as we continue our kickoff. This is our kickoff. So let me just kind of introduce myself. Welcome to Coffee Conversation with Sandy podcast, where we are powered by CTR Media Network. And yes, we are heard in over 350 million viewers worldwide in over 100 countries globally. I am your host and moderator and creator of this platform. We host authors, anthology book projects. And what do I say? Mostly it's for you. Why? Because you just might be looking for a good book to read. And I've got a good one. Listen, we're all month long. We are going to have authors. And these two ladies, I tell you, have been just amazing. And we're about to hear from a phenomenal woman of God. She is been on our show several times, many times. And I tell you, every time Dr. Nikki Zeigler comes on, I tell you, she just lights up our life, and we're super excited to have her on with us. So before I bring her on, we do want to thank her. I want to thank you guys. Yes. So what does this look like? So for the month of September, as you know, we do an author tour every quarter. And so we've had some individuals that said yes, and they've got a story. I've got a story, and they want to share their books. And so kicking it off, you're going to find me here in midday, starting like at 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday, a couple of times this month. And so the two ladies that are kicking off our author tour, along with the young lady that you heard earlier, is the phenomenal, Dr. Nikki Zeigler. And so I'm going to do the intro one more time. And once we complete that, we're going to bring the amazing Dr. Nikki Zeigler on. And so we can have the conversation and y'all can hear about this amazing book, one of the amazing books that she has the privilege and honor of being the visionary author of. Okay. So just kind of hang tight with me. We're going to do our intro and we will be right back. Okay. All right. Welcome to Coffee Conversations with Sandy and Friends, a weekly talking segment with invited guests, best-selling authors, international speakers, coaches, and business leaders. A collective conversation aimed to empower, encourage, inspire all that listen. So welcome to our show, Coffee Conversations with Sandy and Friends. Yes, and there she is. Hello. How you doing, Dr. Nikki? You're on mute.
Okay.
How you been?
I was looking at all those pictures of you. I said, I like her hair. You had your hair up to the side, down, all in your face. I was like, come on, Sandy.
I did. I did. I had long hair. I cut it. I used to wear a band around, and I would have all of this back here.
That was so pretty. But I like the short too, though. I like the short. It's your face.
I'm lazy. Let's just be truthful. And
my God.
You and I, we've had this conversation before about my hair, and we've had the conversation, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm lazy when it comes to hair, and I'm older now. You know, people say, "Oh yeah, I like the shirt." I'm just flat out lazy. I don't like the. Anyway.
It's so pretty. I like it. But
you like my
listen, time and seasons. The It's all about time and season. Listen, when you had it then, you loved it. Now, this is convenient for you. You like the shortcut and keeping it moving.
Yeah. My sister was saying to me, what you gonna do with your hair? Why don't you let it grow? Girl, I'm too old. Yes, indeed, indeed. Well, listen, this is what a coffee conversation is all about. We're talking about hair right now, but we're about to talk about some books. Listen, I want to congratulate this great woman of God, Dr. Nikki Zeigler. She definitely is, yes, as they say, born to lead. We know you as a visionary author. You're a solo book project that is phenomenal. And we know you as being, yes, who you are. You're an international speaker, master visibility coach, founder of the Herprenuer Network. Woo, woo. Yes, hallelujah. Yes, shout out to the Herprenuer Network International. And the book that we're going to be talking about today, this book here, you've definitely been a part of moving and empowering Christian women to speak up, heal out loud, and to walk unapologetically in their God-given calling. You've got several books, under your belt, and this one here is in volume 3 that we're going to be showcasing, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But here you've been doing quite a bit, and you just recently got some exciting news, especially literary world. You do so much, and as well as an entrepreneur, you have several different businesses, but in the literary world, God has done something major for you. I'd like for you to talk, just kind of bring us in on that.
Well, I've got the news late last night that the Break the Block book, this book here, has just got accepted to be on Audibles, which is a pretty big deal.
Yes.
And I thank God, to God be the glory. I always try to say that because, we have to stay humble, Sandy. The enemy will have you all up in your head, making mistakes, just being all into yourself. But we forgetting, I got to put my crown on. But we forgetting that, yes, got to put the crown up. But we're forgetting that, God is our source. God is our source, and we have to stay humble so God can keep on opening up these doors, because he's not going to open the door for you if you are bragging on what you're doing. But always give God the glory. So I was very excited to get that. I literally cried myself to sleep because I was so grateful for what God truly has done.
Yes, yeah, and truly he has done some major, major things. I want to thank you. We talk about the several different things you as a businesswoman. I want to thank you for the sponsoring and advertising here with our platform. You all audience, as you know, that yes, we have we have a lot of connections with individuals that are businesses as well as authors. So I want to take a moment, and this is our spotlight of our newest sponsor. Yes, it is the I Speak Her tote bag. And if you just bear with me here for 1 second, let's hear from I Speak Tote. Sponsor alert. We're thrilled to welcome I Speak Her Totes, designed by Dr. Nikki Zeigler, as the newest sponsor of Coffee Conversations with Sandy and Book Talks podcast. For women who are bold in the boardroom, powerful in the prayer room, and confident at the brunch table, this brand was made for you. I Speak Her Totes you can find at ispeakhertotes.com and all social media platforms. Welcome, I Speak Her Totes. Listen, you're welcome. If you want to get your tote, listen, we're going to put up the link in our comments. Follow Dr. Nikki. And if you want to buy a tote bag, we're going to talk about that. I do have mine. Yes, I do. And it's sitting right over here next to me. Yes, I got my tote. I can't see it because of the background. I'm going to take my background off, but you can't see it, but I'm going to show it to you, okay? All right. Well, Dr. Nikki is helping me kick off this tour, and you have a book that is a volume 3. And this book here Yes, this book here is I Am an Overcomer Woman. You're the visionary author of this book. It is the 3.0. And in your chapter, you're writing, you actually, as the visionary, you hit how many spots? I want to say you hit six, 3 to 6. You all went number
Uh,
one?
yeah, we went number one in six categories.
Six
In
categories.
six
Six
categories. We
categories.
hit every category that we applied for is what we hit number one in. And so we're
Yeah.
grateful just for the women,
Yeah.
the women who wrote the book. Shout out to Dr. Angela House for being the forward of this particular book. And so just having that spirit of gratitude. The
Mhm.
book was definitely life changing. I did some different this time because this is our third time doing this particular I Am an Overcomer Woman, and we will have a fourth one. But I did something different this time because I wanted to bring in people to speak to the women before they wrote the book, because I had a lot of women who was first time authors, and
Okay.
they had went through a lot. As Bishop saying he wanted to come on and listen. I said, come on in here and listen. But we had a lot of new people saying it who just did not know how to write. Some of them just was nervous. They didn't know how to just come out with it. And so I brought in Dr. Connie, Apostle Alicia, Pastor Chica Hunt to come in. Apostle Alicia kicked it off. She talked about forgiveness,
Yeah,
because in
she's
order for you to overcome, you got to forgive. Hey, Apostle, in
Apostle.
order
Hey,
for you to overcome, I love her. In order for you to overcome, you have to forgive. And then Dr. Connie talked about the mindset. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
The mindset. You got to have be in your right mind to do what God has called you to do. And then Pastor Chica talked about the show up, how to show up for yourself, how to show up for people, how to show up for God. Because a lot of us, we do a lot of talking, but we're not showing up. We're not taking action. And so we got to take action. And so I was intentional with the women that I select to come in to speak to the ladies. I wanted to make sure they understood what God had for them, and they did. And it was awesome and amazing. I'm grateful.
Yes, and it helped produce, as you said, you brought, and that's something that you provide this opportunity for women as a visionary author. Today, I'm speaking to you from an author perspective, but you're a visionary author. You have the vision,
Mm-hmm.
and you have caused women to pull out. I've interviewed your ladies and your authors in the past, and Dr. Nikki, you have a way through the Spirit of the Lord of pulling out and getting the results. I
Mm-hmm.
believe that makes that book a number one bestseller, and it not
I,
just sitting on the shelf. Talk about that.
I think it's just all about, you know, creating a selfless place. And I think I talked
Mhm.
about this in Clubhouse this morning. Just making sure that we understand we are here to serve.
Yeah.
When you are a publisher, I've been publishing for 25 years. So I'm not, what I'm saying, I'm not a new one on the street, but I've been around a very long time. And
Right.
when you publish books and magazines, the ultimate goal is to keep the momentum of Christ going. By celebrating women and by celebrating those who ready to step out, ready to unmuzzle their mouth, ready to speak, ready to show up. One thing I know to be true is that God has created me to be a build her,
Hmm.
a build her. So in order for you to be a build her, you got to put yourself to the side, right? You got to be honest within yourself, but also you got to be able to be healed, right?
Yeah.
You can't be out here bleeding on people and trying to build, because it's not going to work. It's going to be more or less like you're trying to tear a person down. But if you it's all about just your mindset and being okay with being around people to build them up in the way that God wants them to be.
Yes, yeah, I love it. I love it. Building up individuals, and that's how we get to, excuse me, we get to I Am an Overcomer Woman, part 3.0. 3.0. There are
Yes,
other volumes, and so I love it how you said that there is going to be a volume 4 because
it
we
gotta be.
gotta be. And so
Mm,
there's much more, there's many women, yes, that you are coming in contact, we are coming in contact together through our network, and just you individually
mhm.
that are, they now can tell that story of
Yeah.
what they've overcome now. And I love it how you say, now if you haven't overcome it,
Then It's a lie. It's just not going to work, because the first thing I say, if you are an overcomer and you telling people that you have, you overcame, triggers are real. Triggers are
Come
real.
on.
My story,
Yeah.
I talk about how I overcame colorism.
Yeah.
I got called so many different names, as far as blackie, tar baby, ugly, all kind of names. But if you call me that name right now, it doesn't affect me, because I know who I am. And so when the ladies decided to write the book, I said, listen, if you know you have not overcame this divorce or this rejection or molestation or being
Right.
targeted, then you shouldn't be writing this book, because you're not an overcomer. You're still over becoming. So we got to
Yeah.
be intentional. I didn't want them, because the enemy, he's intentional. If he felt like they didn't overcome the very thing they said they got delivered from, or they talk about in this book right here,
Yeah.
the enemy will come all which way towards them to get them back off task. So I want to make sure, that's why I
Yeah.
had those classes, that they understood that I have overcame this. In fact, what ended up happening, I had two of the women change their stories, because they realized they had not overcome.
They had
So
not
we very,
overcome. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. And I love that. And that's being a visionary author that is of integrity and knowing. And that's how you get to know. Listen, that's a lesson to learn if you're wanting to become a visionary author. The Lord's giving you a vision, but you've got you're a pastor, and it says that they pray for our souls. And so you take that pastoral very serious, very serious. You all, I am
Definitely.
in the midday with Dr. Nikki Zeigler. Listen, to get her to sit down is phenomenal. Okay. So we such a busy woman and doing many things. Listen, have an entire network that that God has entrusted her with, the Herprenuer Network
He did.
International. And so we just thank God to get her to be able to sit down with us and to share her story of and contributing author of a very own book that she's contributing, the visionary of. And that book, as I said, is called I Am an Overcomer Woman. I Am an Overcomer Woman 3.0. So as Dr. Nikki begins to share her story, her chapter is entitled, I Love Me Some Me. And in this book is about stories of faith, stories of fire, and stories of freedom. Okay, what happens when a woman refuses to let pain silence them? So before we have Dr. Nikki to begin to share, and I will be stepping back, and Dr. Nikki, camera on you, and we're going to be sharing this out. Let's get numbers up. And what I'm going to do, let's hear from CTR Media Network. You all know that's who we're powered by. I want to take a moment and let's hear from CTR Media Network. And then after that, our guest will be sharing a reading from her chapter and just sharing her heart, what it means to be I am an overcomer woman. Okay, so let's hear from CTR Media Network, and we'll be right back.
What's something people don't know about CTR Media Network? It's where content truly meets impact. At CTR Media Network, we believe in the power of stories. Our platform is a dynamic blend of education and entertainment, crafted to inspire and empower creators like you. From insightful podcasts to transformative videos, we offer a diverse range of content that helps you learn, grow, and thrive. Our mission? Innovating media, one story at a time. Imagine a place where your voice can reach millions, where your stories can reshape perspectives. That's CTR, Create, Thrive, Redefine. Join a community of visionary creators and make your mark on the world. Because here at CTR Media Network, your content doesn't just entertain, it makes an impact. So, are you ready to create, thrive, and redefine? Dive in and discover a new world of possibilities, where content meets impact. CTR Media Network.
I need that commercial. It's nice.
It is. When they get it to you, yeah. CTR Media Network, and yes, she is a podcast host as well. Yes, the Convo Christian Talk Show. It's going to show up anywhere, so we'll talk about that in just a moment. But it is my honor and my pleasure to present to you, kicking off the 2025 author tour of Coffee Conversation with Sandy podcast is none other than the phenomenal Dr. Nikki Zeigler. And at this time, where she's going to be sharing from her newest project. Yes, she's the visionary author, but also took a moment and to write in this book herself. Her chapter, it is called I Love Me Some Me. All right. At this time, I introduce to you all author, #1 Amazon, #1 international best-selling author, Dr. Nikki Zeigler. And I yield.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Sandy Sanders, for allowing me to speak today. I'm excited to be here because I know so many people deal with self-love. The foundation of self-love is very clear. Understanding who you are in Christ. #2, the power of acceptance. And #3, the danger of neglecting self-love. And so I wrote this chapter, I Love Me Some Me. And it was intentional because I know I went through so much as a young girl, growing up in the South, being dark-skinned, with the Jerry curl, with the big glasses on, bifocals at that. And I was teased a lot growing up. I think I had to be about from 9 years old up until about 15. I was really teased because people just did not understand, who I was. Not only that, but they just did not understand who God has allowed me to become. And so even I didn't even understand. And so I was teased a lot. I was teased for my skin. I was teased for the Jerry curl. I was teased for the glasses. But what God was doing, he was just showing me that I needed to lean on him because it was the family members. It was the friends who was teasing me. And I had to understand that God has designed me to be just who he wanted me to be. And what God showed me, he said, you have to learn how to confront what has been holding you back. You have to learn how to confront the danger of the identity versus performance and platforms and titles. I don't care what kind of title you have. I don't care what people say about you. You have to understand God created you just who he wanted you to be. And you can't worry about who's not there, who's there, who didn't support you, who did support you. You have to love you. And one thing God taught me with I Love Me Some Me, he said, I want you to love you because I first loved you. So it doesn't matter who wasn't there for you. It doesn't matter what names they called you when you was a little girl. I called you. You're my daughter. So we have to understand that. We have to be authentic and understand that most of us spend too much time of our lives trying to earn approval, applause, and acceptance for people who don't even deserve that, right? We worn ourselves out trying to be enough for everyone around us. Watch this. Our families, our jobs, our ministries, even churches. But if we be honest within ourselves, come on, somebody, some of us are caught up in performing that we forgot who we are in our core. But let me remind you on this beautiful show, this is my favorite podcast in the world, that your identity is not in what you do, but who you are in Christ. And God didn't call you. He didn't call you. He anointed you because of who you are. He didn't make you chosen. You were already chosen before you even was in your mom's womb. So you got to continue to wear your crown, right? He made you. He chose you before your mama knew you who you was. Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed you into the womb, I knew you. And that means you can, whatever you say, whoever you are, that means you're called for this. God stamped you with a purpose. Everyone in here has a purpose. But here's the problem. When you identify, when your identity is tied to performance, when you constantly live under pressure, you will feel like you have to prove something to everyone instead of proving something to God. And so you'll find yourself overcommitted, overworked, overcompensated, because your worth feels tied to how productive you are or how much applause you get. And that's not freedom. That is bondage dressed up in ministry clothes. Christ didn't die so you can be a slave to titles. He died so you can walk in the fullness of his sonship. Romans 8:15 says, the spirit you receive does not make you slaves so that you will live in fear again. Rather, the spirit you receive brought out about your adoption to sonship. So let me be clear. When you understand that you are a daughter of the King, everything changes. And I had to learn that. So when I was called Kokomo, Blackie, Tar Baby, when I was called all those names, I had to start looking at myself and start praising God in the midst of it. Because womb is real, right? And that womb to my life was colorism. Colorism isn't just a word, it's a whole womb. It's a separation. It happens inside families and friends. It's side-eye whispers, and it makes you feel some type of way. So you got to understand, God knew what he was doing when he made you. He knew. He knew what he was doing when he birthed you. He knew what he was doing when he named you. He knew. So you got to stand when nobody else is there for you. You got to stand if you have to stand by yourself, because the womb is real. And I'm in a season now, I'm exposing the lie and healing the womb. That's my assignment. I'm here to heal the womb, because a lot of us have been through colorism. It isn't just a preference. It's a wound that has been passed down from generations to generations, rooted in slavery, rooted in system oppression. It's a subdue, but it's dead. It's a lie. And I said, listen, and I even said, the lighter you are, the better you are. The straighter your hair is, the prettier you are. The thinner you are, you know what I'm saying, the worthier you are. The darkness is, and you can't get caught up in how your skin complexion. You got to be who God says you are. And so it was jokes when I grew up, when I was young, because I was so dark skinned. And it affected me mentally in so many ways that I tried to put on tight clothes, and I turned promiscuous because I wanted attention. But the enemy, he's a lie. And we have to deal with this wound, because a lot of people don't want to talk about this stuff. And what the enemy did, it tried to attack my identity, because I didn't know who I was. And God told me, he said, I stamped your life. Genesis 1:27 says, so God created mankind in his image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. And that means every shade of color you are, your curves, your hair patterns, whatever that is, God made you just the way he wants you to be. So here's the truth. You got to learn how to heal from colorism and talk about it. Because some of us have been hurt by it. Some of us have been penetrated by it. Some of us have been messed up by it because of the dark skin, because you felt overlooked, because you were stuck, or because your hair was too nappy, because people didn't understand you. And so we have to be authentic within ourselves and tell our own self the truth about what we have endured. You got to redeem your view on yourself and your sisters. And you got to start speaking restoration. It's my portion. And the more we begin to heal, the more God will begin to break the cycles of generational curses off our life. Proverbs 31:25 says, she is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. That's not just a cute version for women. It's a declaration that no matter what your skin tone is, no matter what kind of clothes you have on, you are of dignity, you are of strength, and you are royalty. And I tell that everywhere I go. God's kingdom doesn't reign by beauty and complexion. He sees your glory in every shade of your life. And so here it is. Psalms 139:14 says, you are beautifully and wonderfully made by him. And that's what I held on to as I wrote this book. And so I overcame that colorism. I overcame what people said about me. I had to get delivered from people, because people will have you all messed up and tore up from the floor up. But the devil is a lie. It doesn't matter what people say. It's what God says. It's what God says. What matters is what God says. What matters is what he thinks of you. Don't worry about what people, because people don't have a hell or heaven to put you in. So you got to think differently and trust God and call him at his word. If he said you are a winner, you are a winner. If he said you're capable, you are capable. If he said you are enough, you are enough. It doesn't matter what nobody else say, as long as God get the glory and you're calling his name, nothing else matter. And that's what I have, Sandy. That's
I love it.
Nothing else matter. No one else matter. And so a lot of us, Sandy, we've been trying to prove ourselves to people. Mm-hmm. We've been waiting on people to cry. We've been waiting on people to apologize. I've never, ever gotten an apology from my cousins for how they did me. Never got an apology. And guess what? The woman who I am today, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
This is phenomenal. This is a great conversation. And Dr. Nikki, I believe that there's women that even face that And we're talking about this that happens in our own race, our own color. And so in the African American culture, but there's also women who have experienced what you've experienced, even in the corporate world, who made things have happened to her in her childhood. And
Mhm.
it's like hearing those little voices, like you said, using those words, chocolate and dark and what is some other ones?
I had Tar Baby,
Tar
Black.
baby. Yeah. And
Mhm.
let me tell you,
Kokomo. Kokomo was a big name. Kokomo.
I was a swimmer when I was younger, and I still swim. But I hung out at the pool all summer, so I got extremely dark. And the way my aunt, she used to, you got to be careful what you say to your children. And so the one who's raising me, she used to always call me Blackies, my black Sandy, because I got very dark from the sun. And do you know, I never thought that I was my complexion until I was in my late 30s
Mm.
because of the psychic, the words that were spoken into, and it really got in my spirit. And my sisters and I say, "Girl, you lighter than me," and I'm like, "Where?" And so, Dr. Nikki, I thank you for this book, and I thank you for your chapter, and because it's going to be a deliverance, I believe, for women in the corporate world or in life, period, that have been walking around with that same stigma, and you're being bold
Yeah.
with your story. Yeah. Have you had any women to testify as
I
to
have,
your
I've had
story?
I've had so many women to testify that I have to do an actual conference on this book because
Yeah.
I didn't realize how many women, how many little girls go through it. Like Chloe, I always
Yeah.
tell Chloe, I said, "You're so beautiful."
Mm-hmm.
I call her and Kanaya because I have two dark skinned. Actually, I have three dark skinned girls. Grace is dark skinned, Chloe's dark skinned, and Kanaya's. And I call them my chocolate babies.
Yeah.
Y'all my chocolate babies. I love the name chocolate. Now, if they called me chocolate, I wouldn't be tripping about that. I didn't get chocolate. I got burnt. You black burnt. I mean,
Yeah.
horrible name, disgusting
Horrible.
name. I mean,
Horrible.
just horrible. And it made me suicidal. It made
Yeah.
me
And
want
I
to
would think
kill
your
myself.
self-esteem would have been low too. Yeah, I know
I
how I
was
felt.
so low.
I know how I felt. Yeah.
I mean, I felt so low. And the thing about it, God has truly delivered me from that. You know what I'm saying? If
Amen.
somebody said it now, it wouldn't bother me because
Yeah.
because I know who I am. But just imagine all the other little girls who don't know who they are.
That's what I'm talking about. And you talk
Mm,
about being an overcomer, and that's why you mentioned is that if you haven't overcome something, this may not be the book for you. And like you said, two of the women had changed the story. And so there are many women, those of you that are out there, that there is something that you have already overcome. Dr. Nikki
hmm
is sharing. She had to overcome that. Even
Yeah.
I lived through the segregation whenever blacks couldn't sit up. I remember being taken to the movies. My brother took us to the movies, and we had to sit upstairs. And I can
Yeah.
remember going into the ice cream parlor, and I had to go in the back door. And I remember Ma saying, "Don't sit on the counter. You can't sit at the counter." And I'm like, and so you're a kid, you don't understand what was happening. And then I
hmm
remember when our schools got desegregated, and we actually went to, we were in an all black school, and then desegregation happened, and we got walked to the school that we were integrated in with white children. And so, but then when and so I can relate, but all of this is so close and it's still happening. Here is my point, that is still happening.
hmm
And I believe that we're doing it within ourselves. And that's the question I want you to hold on. How do we help each other? How do we help others? You shared about what you say to your daughters and how you're helping your daughters build their self-esteem. You all, I want to, we're going to pause here for just a moment, and we're going to highlight an upcoming event of the Herprenuer Network, which is called the Strong Her Retreat, that is happening in Destin, Florida. Y'all will, if you will, listen and follow me. We're going to bring up the website so that you can share this out Give me just a moment, and we're going to share this out. The Herprenuer Network International is hosting the annual, yes, the Strong Her Retreat that is happening in Destin, Florida. Here is the website. I will be putting the link up. We want to invite you to, you can come on to Destin. You can do that. But we would also like to invite you to be a part of the virtual opportunity, okay? And the virtual opportunity. So what are we talking about? The Strong Her Retreat annual. Yes, it is happening in Destin, Florida, starting on September the 28th all the way through October the 2nd. These beautiful, beautiful women that you see here are the executive hosts of the Herprenuer Network International Retreat. Refresh, revive, renew. Happening when? Drum roll. Yes, it's happening on in 23 days, 21 hours, 37 minutes, and 35 counting and counting. All right. Dr. Nikki, would you like to share about this amazing place?
I do. We're excited about the Strong Her Retreat. This is the 5th year that we've been doing it. Excited about all the women coming together. Oh my God, Sandy. When I said the location is absolutely gorgeous, the food is amazing, the fellowship is fun, and the faith is being built. The theme this year is Show Me Your Nude. Show me your nude. Let's talk about the nude. And it's so important to be in the nude because God wants to do a whole new thing, but he can't do it if you're not showing up. And so I'm grateful for this gathering. I want us to, embrace the transparency, embrace the vulnerability, the healing like never before. And I'm grateful because I have an amazing team that's in prayer right now. We're dealing with the spirit, the soul, and the body. The last couple of years we've had it, it's been like business and ministry and healing. But God told me, drop the business, and just pick up the ministry and the healing because so many women need that. They need to come out of the hiding. They need to come out and be more vulnerable and really deal with their spirit, soul, and body. And so I'm grateful this morning for this, with this evening for this, and I'm glad that you're joining us this year. And it's going to be awesome. I'm excited.
It is. In our audience is a Herpreneur member. Yes, she is. And not at that level. Yes, Mama Leah is in the house, in the room with us virtually. Thank you so much. And she tells us hello to each of us. And she said, I will be there, excited. And so we're building up the momentum. And as we're building up the momentum, we're looking forward. So what I'm asking you, audience, to do is follow. I've put it in the chat. Just simply click onto it. You'll see all of the available information. We're going to have some amazing speakers. We have the phenomenal Bishop Sylvester Poole Jr., Dr. Candy Baylor, Pastor Stephanie Williams, yes, Apostle Chica Hunt, Dr. Connie Stewart, and our very own Dr. Nikki Zeigler. And we have another speaker. I'm looking for her information.
Apostle Chastity Trammell.
Yes, Dr. Trammell is going to be with us. So we have, there's an opportunity for you to join for networking, education, guest speakers, having fun. So click on where it says buy your ticket. We would love to see you at this luxurious luxury retreat experience for Christian women. If you're looking for a total upgrade in your life, spiritually, mentally, financially, and physically, this event is specifically designed to suit your needs. So listen, click on to the link. We're super excited. And there is a virtual opportunity that is available for you as well. And so those information will be in the chat so that you can join us. If not in person, join us virtually. Okay. And you will have that amazing experience for sure. Well, the book link, thank you, Leah, for joining us. The book link, I did put it up, and let's see what else we got going on. We have much stuff going on. Listen, Dr. Nikki does a lot of things, okay? And I just want to, again, thank you for being with us. As you mentioned, you so much in this book, so much. You've got a total of 6-7 authors. Leah is one of them.
We have a total of 7 authors that was a part of the book. Shout out to all of our authors who was a part of it. Some of them was first time bestseller. So I was very happy about that, because that means they took a leap of faith and stepped out and believed in themselves. Because if you don't believe, then how can you do the will of God? So they believed in their story. Like I said, some of them changed their story, and I was okay with that, because I wanted to make sure they truly had overcame and their life would never be the same. So we have that going on. Of course, the Break the Block book has been amazing. It's been life changing. I said to myself, Sandy, because of you, because you really provoke, man, you was my midwife on this book, and I always try to give you your flowers as much as I can. But I'm gonna go back. This book right here. I think I'm considering this as a workbook, but I'm gonna put the actual book out, because it's more than that. When I did my research, do you know it's a total of 195 blocks in women?
Wow.
195. I only talked about 31. It's 195 blockage that women deal with in ministry and marketplace. Yes. And so I'm excited, because I want to go back and write the full book, because I feel like a lot of women can really be helped with this, because we go through this mental block, Sandy, and we don't realize we've been blocking. And I ain't say people been blocking. I say you've been blocking. This book is about self-care. It ain't about nobody else but you. Don't worry about what your cousin and
that's right.
Did, your husband did, what your boss have did. Every book that God has given me has been about yourself. I had to learn. I'm a life strategist, right? And so we have to strategize on how we can start breaking the block off of our life. And this book has really changed me, because if you don't confront it, it's gonna stay there. Wow, if you don't confront the issues, it's gonna stay there. And I do want to read one of it. I'll read day one. Day one talk about the block isn't out there, it's you. I just said that, right? You're praying for God to move the mountain, but what if you are the mountain? And a lot of us, Sandy, we're the mountains. We are not your cousin, not your husband, not your children. We sabotage our own self. And it's easy to blame your block on people, platforms, or the lack of support. But the real resistance is not coming from them. It's coming from the invisible war that you deal with in yourself. So I made sure that we dealt with this, because hesitation is real.
It is.
Earlier. Go ahead.
I'm just telling you, listen, you all, you have, and don't rush. It's not a rush read. You have to I think I stayed on page 1 for 2 days. And when you got to the part, it's easy to blame people for the block. And that causes us to look within. What is it that's blocking me from making that next move? Whether that move is to forgive, whether that move on the spiritual side, on the natural side, even to do stuff for myself. What is holding me back? So you help us to get beyond the block of blaming other folks and looking in the mirror. I'm in this right now, is looking in the mirror at ourselves. Come on.
And that's what it's all about. You got to look within yourself. And it's that spirit of hesitation, the voice that whispers, you're not ready. How can a voice tell me I'm not ready?
Come on. We've been standing for a long time. You're talking to the businesswoman, the woman that, yes, you are right now. You are. Oh my goodness.
How do you let something tell you what you're not ready to do when God has already affirmed you? He already told you can do anything as long as you seek me first and wait for my permission. And that's a lot of us, because we don't have that spirit of discernment, we are all over the place, and we listen to every voice that we possibly can. And you beg it, what kind of God but it came down here himself and gave you confirmation. You still saying, I don't have no confirmation. I think I'm gonna stay here. What? It's time to move. A lot of things, and a lot of people get resentment on you being successful, because y'all got the same 24 hours I got. What you do with your 24 hours set the tone on what God can do with your life. But here it is. It says the fear mask is I'm waiting on God, when really God has been waiting on you to get out of your own way. This book is all about self-evaluation.
So, and though, Dr. Nikki, I'm gonna pull on the coach in you now, because how many women you know, and the coach of the women in ministry, and I've walked this walk for a long time, and we have, I'm one, I'll raise my hand, is that okay, I will wait until I have X amount of degrees,
No.
or I will wait until, or here's a good one. I'm not, I'm older, and I feel like that. No, I'm gonna wait and just let the younger women do. That's it. This is real. This is real.
It's real. Why? I'm gonna tell you what the meat to the sauce is. You do not value who you are.
Come
That's
on.
it.
Come on.
That's it. Do you value? That's why I love me some me. Because if you love you, you'll handle your business. You'll step out. You'll get in the game. You know what I'm saying? You'll take the coaching program. You'll write your book. Like, we gotta stop waiting on folks to give us permission to live the best life that God has already paid for us. He paid this life. He wants us to be successful. God doesn't want us to struggle and be in debt. He wants us to live life with abundance.
Yeah.
That's the God that we serve. But some of us are so on who gonna give me this, and who, that doubt, that hesitation.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Many women have gone through domestic violence, domestic abuse, who have come out of it. Let's talk about coming out of it. But there is still that struggle, because that they haven't been delivered. They may have come out of it physically, Dr. Nikki, but they have come out of it physically. They're not there, but they're still dealing with, I'm afraid, because in abuse and domestic abuse, you whether it's male or female, there were always you moving at the speed or at the rate of being afraid of being attacked. So it brings it over even after individuals have come out of that. And I think that this book this is how this book can also help women that have come out of domestic violence, but they're still dealing with the block. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It really have, because a lot of us, a lot of people are dealing with the fake version of ourselves. And that's what they want to talk about. He anointed you to be real. He anointed you to escape. He anointed you to lead. He anointed you to stand flat foot on the word of God and tell your story. But you so busy worried about, I don't want nobody to know he hit me.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody to know. I don't want to leave him because I'm worried about what people are going to say about my marriage. The devil is a lie, baby. You hit me, we out. I'm just being honest. You gotta, and I can even say, I've never been through it before. So I have to give people grace and say, you know what? Maybe it takes time for her to be there. But baby, you gotta value you. Like,
that's it.
There's no way God wants you to stay in a marriage of a man hitting you and beating you. Like, you gotta get out of there.
Yeah, that's right. And taking care of yourself. That's why this book, along with Overcomer Woman 3.0. I'm even telling y'all, listen, get all three. Get volume 1, volume 2, and 3. But such a blessing. This is so good. This is so good. Listen, and break the block. I have it down in here. We've got the link over on the other side. Those in the audience, please, yes, go ahead. Let's support this great woman of God. I put the link of the purchases. You can go to either Pay Him on both of these books, Break the Block and Overcomer Woman 3.0. Go ahead and get your copy. Get your copy. I put it over there. You find it on our YouTube channel as well. So let's support the woman of God and buy one for yourself and buy one for somebody else too. All right. And look out, follow Dr. Nikki on all social medias. You'll find out what she's going to do, number 4, and you'll find out what she's going to be doing with the Break the Block and another book on that. Listen, we've had great conversation. Go ahead. You want to share something else?
I'm flowing with you. However you flow, we're going to flow.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Hugs. Y'all, okay. So she's not just my friend.
I knew you were going to say it. I knew you were going to do it.
She is my pastor. We're talking about Pastor Dr. Nikki Zeigler, my spiritual covering, my spiritual mom, and I'm truly honored.
And you have been such a blessing to our church. Like, I told my husband, I said, it feels so good to have someone. I don't have to worry. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we have church service through virtually, I know you got us. Like the love has been so genuine. You know what I'm saying? Even though we waiting on her to come to Montgomery because we ain't seen her so long, which I think I told my husband, I said, next time we'll see her is when she comes to the Strongheart retreat. But you're just so authentic, Sandy. And I really appreciate, just that midwife in you. You are definitely a midwife. I don't know if you ever heard that before, but I gotta give it to you. You are a real midwife.
I
You
love
don't play when it come down to me and Bishop. You do not play at all.
And y'all, it's the timing of God. He knows. And so this is what it looks like. It is an honor to serve you. It is an honor to learn from you. And I am, you say you're a forever learner, and I grab that spirit. We're forever learning. We're walking this journey together. She's my biggest supporter. She supports
Yes,
me.
I am.
And cheers me on. And I'm just very thankful, very, very thankful. And so, listen, to get our guest, Dr. Nikki, to sit with us. She's a very busy woman, got a lot of great things coming down the pike. So listen, you all, those that are following Dr. Nikki, you can follow her on all social media platforms. But we're getting her to talk. She's talking about this book, these two books. I am going to, my custom is to yield back and allow our guests to have final words before we end out of our interview with Dr. Nikki on today. I do want to say thank you for bringing on the ladies. You brought the ladies on while you were on tour. Congratulations again on this amazing, amazing book project. I Am an Overcomer Woman 3.0. Truly, this book is amazing. At this time, we're going to have one more. We have another sponsor that we're alerting. So we're going to bring that out. And once I finish with that, then we'll be hearing last words from Dr. Nikki Zeigler. Okay, just one moment. Coffee Conversation and Book Talks with Sandy podcast, now sponsored by P. Hankins LLC with Coach Pamela Hankins. Divine Transformation, Walking in Faith, Prayer Purpose, Signature Coaching Program. So be sure to tune in to our next episode of Coffee Conversation and Book Talks with Sandy podcast, where you will find authors, anthology book projects, and most of all, I say that it is for you. Why? Because you just might be looking for a good book to read.
Are you ready to lead with purpose, connect with global change makers, and amplify your impact? This October, the world gathers in Nairobi, Kenya for the 4th edition of the most transformative gathering of humanitarian visionaries, servant leaders, and purpose-driven trailblazers. Welcome to the Humanitarian Leaders Bootcamp and Award 2025 with the theme Inclusive Growth, Humanitarian Leadership for Economic Transformation. Date 8 to 10th October 2025 in Nairobi, Kenya. Exciting, right? Come learn, connect, and lead with integrity, innovation, and impact. Whether you are a change maker, community builder, development expert, non-profit leader, or entrepreneur with a heart for humanity, this is your space to grow and glow. What to expect is power-packed networking opportunities, inspirational panels and capacity building workshop, cultural exchange and city tours, strategic collaboration and business connection, the prestigious Humanitarian Leaders Award Night. Now, you don't just attend the Humanitarian Leaders Bootcamp, you experience it. Come, let's build sustainable solution together. Registration is now open. Secure your seat today and click the link below to register, sponsor, or partner with us. The world needs more leaders like you.
Yes, and a born to lead leader in with me on this afternoon as we are kicking off our 2025 author tour of September, our fall author tour, the phenomenal Dr. Nikki Zeigler. We're humble and grateful for her to take time to share her incredible story of her #1 Amazon bestseller, international best-selling book project that is called I Am an Overcomer Woman 3.0. At this time, it is always my custom to yield back and allow our guests to have final words. But listen, y'all, get the word out, listen to the replay, follow our authors, go ahead and purchase your copy. Yes, in indeed. We look forward to it. And so I'll be back in just a few moments. But Dr. Nikki, I yield my mic over to you like we do in the morning.
Amen. As she was saying, I should know that she always let the authors have the last words before we end the show. But I want to be a thought provoker right at this moment. You're gifted, you're called, full of vision, but still feeling stuck, right? You might find yourself praying or asking God for clarity, and you just don't understand what God is doing. Maybe you're dealing with procrastination. Maybe you're dealing with people pleasing. Maybe you're dealing with mental clutter. You're not lazy. You're not disqualified. You're blocked. And so how do we deal with the block? Confront the block head on. The block in your life isn't just an obstacle. It's a sign that you're standing on the edge of a breakthrough. The enemy will always fight hardest when God's power is about to be revealed. That's why this not the time to just procrastinate or dance around the problem or retreat from it. This is your moment to stand in your authority. Speak to that mountain, confront the block head on. Oftentimes when I talk about the block, God always give me David, right? When David ran towards Goliath, he didn't let fear paralyze him. He faced it with fear. He faced it with faith and precision. In the same way, you got to stop tiptoeing around the very thing God has given you the power to conquer. Blocks are meant to be broken. They are meant to be moved. They're meant to climb over. But when you never move them, and they will never move themselves, it takes courage. It takes prayer. It takes strategies. It takes action to push past what's been holding you back. Every block, whether it's spiritual, mentally, emotional, is an opportunity for growth. So here is my petition. Ask God for discernment to see the root cause, and then attack it with truth, attack it with consistent, attack it with momentum, attack it with prayer. You don't negotiate with what's been trying to delay your destiny. You confront it. You confront it head on. You expose it. You dismantle it with the authority of the word of God. You're not stuck. You're strengthened. Believe that for yourself. And let's confront these blocks head on. And that's all I have, Sandy. I hope everybody have an amazing day, because the best is still yet to come. Let's make it count.
Yes, the best is still yet to come. Well, you've heard it from our very own Dr. Nikki Zeigler, #1 bestseller, author, visionary author, international speaker, master visibility coach, and founder of the Herprenuer Network. Listen, you do want to make sure that you follow her on all social media platforms. That's Dr. Nikki Zeigler, Nikki Nicole Zeigler, or Nicole Nikki Zeigler. And you can follow her, yes, on the Herprenuer Network International, all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Yes, you can find her. So we want to thank Dr. Nikki for being on with us on today. We are just very thankful for her taking time to come and kicking off our tour of 2025. Listen, we're going to have some amazing authors coming through. We do want to thank them. And you listen, look out for the posts, look out for all of the authors that will be joining me throughout the month, and look at the replays. You'll be able to connect with the authors. And as always, you guys know that I love you. Listen, take care. We will be back with you soon. You look out for the date and you will find out who we're going to be interviewing next. Okay, so thank you for following us. Listen, Dr. Nikki, we headed on up out of here. All right, let's see here. We're headed on out of here, and you guys take it easy. Yes, love. You gotta come back for part 2, because I want the backdrop. We gotta tell the backstory of the crown, because we wear fixed crowns and maintain them.
Yes, we do.
Gotta give us the story. You are a queen for sure. All right, everyone. We'll see you soon. All right, y'all take care. We love you. Stay with me, Dr.